I really just need to show you what's going on in the wild yard. Here's a little stand of fleabane, which is an herb, and it is growing in little clusters in my yard, and I asked them not to mow it because it's nice for pollinators. Once it's gone to seed, I'll let them mow this, but boy, it's pretty, it's cute. It's like a little mini daisy. I don't really know the medicinal uses for it. I know it has medicinal uses though. Pretty little flower. These are called hop trefoil, Trefoil, and they are blanketing parts of the yard and fields around in a coat of yellow. It's so pretty. I love yellow. I think yellow is the happiest color in the world. From this tiniest of viewpoints, there is so much diversity in this little tiny area, from buttercups to clovers to different kinds of grasses to the trefoil. It's to dandelions here to plankton. It is just amazing how much can grow in a small space. And when you sit here for just a minute or two, you see all sorts of tiny little living creatures coming around. When I think about how much money is spent trying to eradicate all of these things from lawns, it just makes me want to cry, because think of all the things that are not living because people want to have the perfect green, quote unquote, weedless. This purple wildflower is growing everywhere right now, and it's called lieleaf sage. There's a whole bit of it on the side of the yard here. It's pretty with the yellow flowers and buttercups. Edges of yards and fields are places of enormous diversity for plants and for birds. There's a lot of invasive species here. There's a lot of native species here. There's a lot of everything here, and it's just a massive bramble. This is something that is invasive and grows everywhere, but it's actually kind of pretty. It's called a multiflora rose. I think the highway departments planted it to help check erosion, and it just got out of control. But I don't mind it because it smells beautiful, and it's got pretty little blossoms, and the birds like it, so what's not to like? Here's the blossom of the Osage orange trees. Osage oranges are interesting trees. They used to use them as fences to keep cattle in, and they lined this, what used to be what was called a bridle path here for the horses. As many of you may know, I was a history teacher for many years, and in thinking about invasive species, you know, everything pretty much is invasive from someplace. In 1492, when the Columbian Exchange began with this sustained contact among the continents, many different microbes and seeds and things were exchanged, were transplanted, and it was transformational in the world. So where do we say something is native and something is invasive? We all love to grow tomatoes. Well, tomatoes came from here, but they didn't grow in my part of my neck of the woods. We all love apples. Apples did not come from here. They came from, probably originated in the Middle East. So, or I'm not sure where they originated. So what's invasive? Certainly things come and go, and now please don't get me wrong. I don't love invasive species that come in and are totally destructive. One of the things that we have here, and many people are battling, is a horribly invasive and destructive plant. It's called Oriental Bittersweet, and it can grow like crazy. And here it is right now. I have been in here and pulled this out of this thicket many times. You can see it just growing everywhere. It is a really destructive plant because it can grow up the side of trees. Actually, there's a tree in the back and you can see a vine growing up it. That is an Oriental Bittersweet vine, and it will eventually kill that tree. I've got to get in there and hack it off. The problem is that its root system is so vast that you just you have to you can poison it with Roundup, which I hate to do, but it's one of the only ways that you can even begin to get control over this horribly invasive plant. It can grow a foot a week or more, and unlike other vines, we have lots of viney things here in the South, but unlike other vines, it strangles the tree. It's not a symbiotic relationship at all. The tree gets nothing out of having Oriental Bittersweet around it. Unfortunately, the birds love the beautiful berries that come off it, and so it gets planted everywhere. And it's a huge threat to forests. I'm not sure how far it's spread, but here in Virginia, it's a big problem. As we have taken custody of this historic property, one of the things that I've been doing is really battling the Oriental Bittersweet along the edges, really in an effort to keep it out of the yard and encroaching on these older, big, huge trees. So it occupies a lot of time. I just come out this time of year and start pulling new plants, and my sister and I really attacked some big thickets on the edges, I think pretty thoroughly, but you just really have to be vigilant or else it will come and get you.